What is up, my people? In this video I'm going to be talking about what I think a lot of people are really feeling in regards to who it's going to come down to in the All Valley final. Now, obviously, I'm sure there's going to be people that say Miguel, Hawk, all that jazz. The one thing that I think a lot of us are gearing up for, and I think a lot of us are kind of expecting, is this is for the soul of the Valley. So, as much as we love Miguel, as much as Hawk's redemption could be great, history could come full circle with the heir apparent. Now, who am I talking about? Obviously, I'm talking about the heir to the LaRusso bloodline, Sam. Sorry, Anthony. Everyone put F in the comments for Anthony. Who knows? Maybe he'll get trained in Season 5 or something. But I think we can safely say that all signs are pointing to a Battle of the Bloodlines, LaRusso versus Lawrence in the All Valley final. How does that sound? How does that sound? It sounds good, doesn't it? And, you know, I know sometimes when we talk about fictional characters, people can get bent out of shape. Because, no, this character has to be in the final, or that character has to be in the final. Guys, no matter what you say or what I say, there's a decision already. It's been filmed. It's done. It's written in the stars. Someone is in that final. Two people are in that final, whoever we like it or not, whoever they may be. So just make peace with the fact that we're probably all going to be wrong, and it's probably going to be Dimitri and Kyler in the final. No, I'm joking. I would like to see Dimitri against Kyler, though. That's a good fight. That's a separate video. But I think with the amount of history that's riding on this season, as much as Miguel is the new Karate Kid, this is a legacy that goes back right to the Karate Kid trilogy. With Terry Silver now being brought in, you know, Kreese, you know, looking to reform his Cobra Kai and his vision, you know, with Robby and Tory spearheading it and people like Kyler being integrated into the dojo, you know, that's his direction. And Silver is looking for his win, because that's what they wanted for Mike Barnes 30 years ago, so they're not coming back just to lose. And obviously everything that Johnny and Daniel have on the line as well. But I think if we're going to be transparent, I think Daniel has more to lose in this instance than Johnny. Johnny has things to lose, but his son's already gone to the dark side. He's got Miguel, you know, he doesn't have a dojo anyway, besides one that you go to a park for. So he's rebuilding himself anyway. At this point in time, Daniel has the most to lose. And we know that Silver and Tom Cole, that's going to be a thing. We know that there's going to be more dealership trouble. We know that there's stuff going on with Daniel's house next season. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the Empire Strikes Back of Cobra Kai, where the good guys get their asses handed to them. Not just physically, but spiritually. They just get absolutely beaten down. They get everything taken away from them. And the final shot is of Cobra Kai dojos opening all over the valley. What Silver always wanted. And maybe he turns the LaRusso dealership into a Cobra Kai center. You know, it's all things are off the table now that Silver's coming back in the mix. He was a level of absurdity then, and he's going to be a level of absurdity now. We are going to go into an unknown sort of territory. But I think it just makes the most sense. And many of the other creators, Talking Cobra Kai, Strike First Podcast, Boxiest, and others, comment down below if it's one of you guys, have pointed this out, and a couple of people have mentioned this to me as well, that you can see Amanda in the tournament All Valley teaser. You can see Amanda having her hands over her mouth, like she's sort of, you know, anxiously ready. It looks like they're setting up the final match. Now, why would she be doing that unless Sam is in the final against Robby? And I think off of the back of Season 3, Sam and Robby have a lot of unresolved stuff to get through. And I think this final could really lay the seed, not just for Robby's redemption down the road in Season 5, but it could really sort of cement Sam as Daniel's, the heir to Daniel's legacy until, you know, Anthony, gets that transition, which no doubt Anthony is going to get that transition. Maybe not this season, but next season or soon. Eventually, Anthony's going to get it at some point or another. But if we're going off of the soul of the valley, you know, battle of the eras, it's going to come down to Robby and Sam, I feel. I was more of a Robby Miguel kind of guy at first, because it just made the most sense. You know, Robby and Miguel, history repeats, comes full circle. Robby beats him, Robby wins. Or Miguel beats him, Miguel wins. But I have been swayed by this because it would make the most sense to me. And I could see something like where Tory gets bad news about her mum just before the final kicks in. And Robby, let's say Robby goes through Hawk or Miguel. He's in the final. That's it. Bang. And then you have Sam versus Tory. Tory is then thrown completely off course. Let's say she's determined the whole tournament and she gets the bad news that her mother's passed away or something like that. That will make her go insane. If Miguel cheating on her made her go nuts, think of how much that's going to do to her. She will take the Hawk role, which in Season 1, the Hawk role was to get disqualified by injuring Robby's shoulder purposefully. So it's going to be a similar thing, where Tory will probably get disqualified by lunging at Sam and absolutely letting loose. That leaves her Sam primed to be beaten by Robby. And I think Robby will win cleanly, and I've said before many times, I think Robby could win using Miyagi-Do. This show has a lot of surprises in store. Robby will be ruthless, he will be aggressive. He's like a Mike Barnes hybrid of Johnny, you know, of them two fighters. But the Miyagi-Do training got to him first. And I feel like that could be implemented here. That could really be implemented, because Johnny is now teaching the Miyagi-Do students offense, so they're going to now be able to counter that offense with offense. You see what I mean? It cancels out. So you're going to see a lot of hybrid fights where you're going to see different styles clashing. You're going to see the same styles clashing. It's not going to be strike first, counter, counter, strike first. It's going to be strike first, you know, counter, counter. Like, it's going to be cancelling each other out. And I think Sam and Robby are the perfect vessels for that. Now, again, I could be wrong, you could be wrong. It could be anything. It could be Hawk and Robby in the finals, which I would love on paper. Like, I would really love that. I think that would do wonders for Hawk's character. And as I've said a million times before, if Hawk wins this thing, that is the biggest middle finger to Kreese I will have ever seen. You know, you chose that Robby over me. Yeah, now you're going to regret it. It could happen. It could happen. You never know. You never know. But the benefit is that no matter who wins, they know where they're going. That's the main thing for me. So even if Dimitri and Kyler are in the final and Dimitri knocks him on his ass, then, you know, hey, he's the Neville Longbottom of the show, what can I say? But at least then, you know you're in good hands, and you know that the next season has already been thought out ahead of time. That way you're not just winging it as you go. Now, the trouble with plans, and I want to do a video on this down the road, but this is a bit of a teaser, is sometimes you can plan things too much, to the point where even if you plan it, it doesn't make it good. But because you've planned it, because you explain it, you think it is good. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the balance there of, you know, balance, Miyagi-Do. It's all about finding the balance, the common ground of where you know where you're going, but still being able to be loose and free with it. And I saw one thing that maybe Miguel's injury gets sparked back up again, and maybe Hawk has to take his place, or maybe Hawk gets injured and Daniel does the healing technique on him. Who knows? Things are up in the air. Maybe Cobra Kai could do the healing technique on one of their students. They could steal it. Maybe it was on that scroll, and maybe Silver steals the scroll. That's something that Silver would do. So guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. I already know that there's going to be this kind of video is going to generate some interesting heat that I'm going to be the one that has to deal with. So just try and keep it civil down there, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, they're just fictional characters. There's a world outside of it. As much as it's fun, as much as it's great, as much as we enjoy this show, as much as pop culture is amazing, do remember that whenever you're in doubt, whenever you're feeling down, close the laptop, go outside, get some fresh air. It's becoming like a trademark quote over here. But yeah, Sam and Robby in the finals, I could totally see this. I think, you know, a couple of the folks in the live streams have kind of swayed me to this a little bit. I think there is a lot for this, and I think it could serve as a really emotional fight, especially for Daniel and Amanda. You know, that they took Robby in. They took Robby in. Imagine how they'll feel, you know, and imagine the pain for Daniel seeing his former student go up against his daughter, you know. Imagine that. Imagine the scenes. And I know, you know, to again address the people down in the comment section who say this channel is completely biased towards Robby, you couldn't be further from the truth. There's multiple videos on Miguel and other characters, so I don't know what you guys are smoking. And it's just, I find those characters like Robby fascinating because they are the Ben Solos, they are the Harry Osborns, they are the Darth Vaders. They are the characters, the Tommy Olivers. They are the ones with the most layers and the most nuance, because they're not black and white. They're not on the good side or the bad side. They're always floating, choosing, deciding what destiny. And you can go in either direction with them. They're the most exciting characters to me. And I think Sam is gearing up for an even better arc. Season 3, she had one of my favorite arcs in that whole season. I'd say the only one who came close to her was Hawk. Really, really, truly, I do. I think she had a really great arc, and I think her arc made Karate Kid 3 look a lot better in reflection. And the minute that Tory smacked Miyagi's picture on the floor, I think we were all rooting for Sam to whoop her ass. Like, I mean, come on, you know. Don't worry though. I know there's some Tory fans out there. They've asked me, you know, can I do some videos on Tory? Is the redemption possible and all that kind of stuff? So I am tempted to delve into that. I would like to talk on Tory more. I think we'll get to learn a lot more about her this season. And give us a motive for her. Let us really sympathize with her. I feel like we were just touching and scratching on that a little bit in season 2 and 3, but we weren't really feeling it. Let us feel it more. Let us see it more. Let us understand why she is the way she is. The same way we can relate to other characters, because I genuinely think there's a lot of potential there. And I think Tory and Robby's long-term arcs are tied to Kreese. They are specifically, intrinsically linked to Kreese. Those 3 arcs are going to link up towards the end. It's the end game. At least I feel anyway. So guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think this final could happen? What would you like to see? And who would be your dream pick for the final? Who would you like to see in the final? Who would you like to see win it? Are there any other videos that you'd like me to see me do on Cobra Kai or anything? Anything you want me to cover before Season 4 airs? I think I've done mostly everything from the previous 3 seasons. I don't think I have much more to talk on about Cobra Kai in general, other than where we're going and theory and speculation and what could happen. So yeah, just jump in the comment section down below and let me know. And, you know, I normally end these with a nice little line, but I'm trying to think, oh, what would be a good line? What would be a good line to end this one? 3 generations of Cobra Kai working together. Whew! You know, I actually had chills when Kreese said that line. See you down there, folks.